Now, what is the order book? Man, L2 in DOS, as many of you call it. The order book is an electronic list of buy and sell orders for a specific security or financial instrument that is organized by price tier or level, right? This is why we call it the level 2. This is also why we call it the DOM, right? Or depth of market, right? So order book, DOM, level 2. These are all synonyms, right? But what they allow you to do is to see basically what the market is feeling and thinking at that moment, right? You can tell if a market is in panic. You can tell if it's, limit orders. Only limit orders will be on the book. Market orders do not go onto the book. They are executed as they come across, right? So if they do hit the book, it's but for a split second as they're executed and filled. Only a limit order is displayed on the order book. So like if you're looking at Bookmap, for instance, which I'll show you in a minute, there's lines and dots. The dots are market orders. The lines are limit orders. The market cannot move without limit orders. That is the size in which we are going to move towards, right? The market cannot move without market orders. That's the volume we need in order to move up that size, right? So when you're reading the order book, as I state that, always remember this generic rule of thumb. Price moves to size. If you were looking at Tesla this morning, it was quite obvious that Tesla was very bearish this morning. So I want you to see here, sorry, I moved forward a little too fast. So if you look at this order book here, this is an order book on PLTR from a while ago. Notice how we have orders highlighted and stacked. Now I use the order highlight feature in DOS to read this if you don't have Bookmap. And basically what I'll do is I'll go into any ticker and I'll look at the order book and I'll basically see what the predominantly large size is. Right, so if it looks like 50 lots are the big size or 80 lots are the big size, right, then I'll go in and highlight whatever is right around that large size in order to kind of pop those out. And I like to use pink on a gray background because I don't care about the individual tiers. I just want to see the big orders, right? So you can see here with that highlighted, I basically did anything over 100. And you can see 169, 1347, 522, 98, big orders to the downside. Very little orders to the top side. This is a bearish, if price moves to size, this is a bearish level too. Now, this reading the book can really, really help you because if you're looking at an order book and it looks like one of these two books, your price isn't going anywhere, right? And that's really good to know, right? If you have what we call a balanced order book, then that means in both directions, you've got either a lack of orders or so many orders that the market maker is not going to be incentivized to move the price, right? The market maker needs to move, but think about like taking, if a market maker is like an ATM, right? They make money off of transactional fees. ATMs don't make money because there's cash in them, right? Just like market makers don't make money by holding positions, right? That would be like saying, oh, well, your ATM actually made money today because of inflation. Right, the cost of the dollar or the value of the dollar went up or went down actually. Or let's say there was the inflation went the other way, so the cost of the dollar went up. Hey, your ATM made money today. No, it didn't. Right? That money is money we plan to keep in play and we plan to dispense to somebody. That's not a part of our profit model. Right? An ATM makes money because people come over to it and they take the money out and you charge them to do that. Right? And that's where market makers make money. Market makers make money by providing and exchanging shares, right, for you to somebody else, right, not for themselves. So it's the service, exactly. So if your order book is balanced, this would be like telling someone to take an ATM machine and move it from the Mall of America, right, and move it out into the middle of the boondocks. Right. In either regards, the market maker in the first place won't want to move the ATM because there's so many orders available at the Mall of America. I'm not going to go anywhere. Right. But they're also not going to want to go out to where the 7-Eleven is because there's so few orders. Right. So in one instance, they're not going anywhere because there's too many. In one instance, they're not going anywhere because there's not enough. Right. And this is the very big part about reading the order book is reading the imbalance between buyers and sellers. The market maker will be motivated, right, when there is an obvious direction in the market sentiment or the order book. So if you look to the top side and all of your large orders are to the top side, very few to the downside, then you have a bullish level too. Now this doesn't absolutely mean it's going up, but this does mean the intention is, right? The intention on this order book is to rally. The question is now, do we have the volume and are we in the right range, right? And if you pair this order book with being in the right range, with having volume, you will get the move you're expecting in eventually. This is the reverse of that. As we showed on PLTR before, this is what a bearish level 2 looks back like. Now, keep in mind, we got to watch for icebergs, right? Icebergs are orders that are on the order book that are actually bigger than they appear. As you go and hit the order and you pull away from the order, there are still orders left behind. You have participants that are only willing to buy or sell certain levels, right? And because of that, those orders can become what we call an iceberg. Here's an example of that in Bookmap. You can actually see here how we were buying and then we hit a big seller right here, but we don't really know what happened, right? You saw there was a seller, something happened, we took on selling, but we don't really know what happened. But then notice as we pulled away from it, all of a sudden, boom, there they are, right? They threw their size on and they've appeared. Those are our icebergs, right? And they held the price up and it actually provided too much inventory for a lack of buyers, and that is what actually scared the price away, and we reversed off of it. There are no fake orders. Now, there are NITFs, which is in no intention to fill, but I would say that makes up an incredibly small amount of orders. The vast majority of the orders that are being put on these levels are genuine sell orders, right? That will be transacted if we get there. The only question is, are there more? Right? What often happens is we do have sell orders there, but what they're not doing is they're actually hiding their size. They're creating an iceberg, right? Because they don't want to take on the slippage, right? If we're going into this and we're taking on too many sell orders here, right? We're gonna have to pull away, right? Large institutions don't care about their being fancy. One of the ways retail traders are often targeted, right, by the algorithms is that we take odd lot numbers at odd prices, right? It's very easy. It's very, very easy for their algorithms to actually figure out where we are, because we're going to trade 112 shares of Apple at $101.27, right? No one but a retailer is going to buy that price or sell that price, right? The institutions are going to hammer 122, 123, 125, 130. These are price targets, right? They're putting it out on the book for everyone to know. If I want to sell, and if you come up here, I will sell to you right here, but I'm only going to sell to you here, right? And that is why having large orders to the top side is a bullish order book. The intention is that the stock is of higher value than it currently is. Now, just because a stock's order book is bullish doesn't mean we go up, right? Just because we have a lot of inventory available doesn't mean we have someone who's willing to buy it. This is where the volume is necessary, right? If we have limit orders to the top side and market volume on the buy, we move up, right? If we have limit order to the top side, but we don't have market volume on the buy, we consolidate and or drop. If we have limit order to the downside and market volume on the sell, then we go down, and vice versa.
Hello, market alchemists, and thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to watch the next episode, and before doing so, like and subscribe.